Alright, I did just take a break to go pour myself a cup of coffee. I might be doing some unhealthy things to my sleep schedule in order to get this project made, because as of right now, I have 1 week until the release of Talos Principle 2, and my goal is to get this whole playthrough finished, and recorded and commentated and everything. Luckily, I'm doing all that at once. Then get it edited into a somewhat watchable state, and then uploaded on or before the day Talos 2 releases. I think the editing is going to be the real killer there. But I'll see if I can't manage it. Or at least partially, get like some of it done and uploaded, and do the rest pretty soon thereafter. So without using my brain at all, I walked over to a connector and made a connection. Now I can actually turn my focus back on the game and solve the puzzle. Another connector. What was the name of this puzzle again? Let me indulge my curiosity and short attention span. Windows into a labyrinth. Okay. So the name window implies the use of windows. I bet you can grab that laser through one of these windows. I also bet... Oh. If that's accessible, then yeah, you can just grab that jammer. Useful. And then you don't really need that. You can crack this bad boy open with a jammer to move over there. Can you pull that through there? Don't think so. Okay, so here's an idea I have. Let's examine it from this side. So yeah, if we get the connector set up right there, we'll be able to grab it through there to get that connection going. And then we can also grab it right here to make this connection. So, walk it back. And here's a puzzle, and there are many like it, where you have to keep track of, in your memory, a lot of details about a three-dimensional space. And also remember which window you're supposed to put this next to. I think it's this one, or I think this will work. Actually, it might be this. Maybe both will work. I'll try this one. And if it's not right, I can just go back and fix it. I don't have to show you me making a mistake in a puzzle. I can just cut that. I could make myself look very smart. Like, oh yes, at a glance, I know and remember all the solutions. I won't do that. It's probably more fun of a viewing experience to watch me make some mistakes. Oh. Will that get us to the sigil? No, that gets us another connector. Oh, you thought you were going to solve the puzzle. Bad news. Okay, I can feel myself forgetting important details. Okay, we need to get this laser back through this way. But is there another way? Actually, we don't need to hold that open, do we? What we can do is we can, yeah, pull this, because we don't need that particular connection anymore. Leave that there, though, to grab it through the window, but we can get that a different way, maybe. I said, not knowing how wrong I was. What's the merit of getting it here? What can I connect that to? Seemingly nothing. Let me think about this. Yeah, stop harassing me, future viewer. I'm working on it. Oh, pfft. Easy. Easy. This is what happens when we use 100% of our brains. And then we can grab that. We'll just set that up in advance. Ah, jeez. I was so close. Yeah, setting up a connection in advance to make it work. I could hold this open with a red laser. Potentially. And I could get that through there. Potentially. I just have to set it up out here. I can at least do that to get my jammer on the other side, and then I can just set this back up again, and that'll get me to the end. So yeah, we can just pass it through the window this way and get our jammer back. Or get our jammer forward, I should say. There we go. And now we do the setup again, and this will actually completely fully work. And this will actually completely fully work. Thank you for sticking with me this far, so you can watch me now make a fool of myself for the remainder of the game. This is where the fun begins. As I remember increasingly more complex puzzle solutions with varying degrees of success. Oh, now I have to get back out. Did they open a back door? They usually do. Yeah, there it is. Thank you for not making me reverse solve the puzzle. One red down, still many more to go. Because we're going all the way to the top of the tower. We're gonna solve every puzzle. Not every puzzle, but every puzzle. Every non-bragging rights puzzle. Let me re-get the name of the puzzle just so I have it in my head. Locked from inside. And the titles aren't always helpful, but they're usually thematic. And sometimes they're a Ghostbusters reference. Pop open this bad boy, we unlock blue, and get another connector. But before we do that, we'll use our red to get another connector. And then we have to bring it around this way. This connection is no longer necessary. And I could probably line that up. Yeah. And that's what we're going to want to do. So set this up here. Move that a little further back. Get the maximum line of sight here. There we go. And that's exactly the shot we want. Somebody keep track of how many times I say, this is exactly the right thing to do, and then it's not the right thing to do. Keep a running total. The amazing thing is, I've played this game before. It is kind of a fun thing to have forgotten some of the puzzle solutions, so you do get the joy of rediscovering them. And yeah, I can get the laser right there, grab it right here, and then that connection's gonna happen. Yeah, you can make that. Ooh, did you hear that sound in the background? I do like that little bit of soundtrack there. The little ticking up part of that song. Yeah, I guess I will talk a little bit about the soundtrack. These nature sounds and the kind of soft, slightly melancholic background music. Music is a part of the art of the game, and this one I think has some pretty good music. I know that's a bit of a nothing statement to make, just some straight positivity, but yeah, good job. Ooh, the shepherd. This might be the first shepherd note, at least the first one I remember. Seek out those who would help you. You've changed. I like that exchange, and I like what it foreshadows. Do I talk about that now, or do I talk about that? I'll talk about it later, but I'll try to remember this when I talk about it when it comes up. There's a whole thing going on with these bots and their relationships to each other. I keep calling them bots. That's just the immediate shorthand that comes to mind. Okay. Oh, we can hold that open from the other side. To then grab that connector and pull it out, and then we can move them both away. At some point they taught us that you can put multiple connectors on the same dot. That's another good idea to internalize. A lot of talking about the game design is just talking about how this puzzle game explains puzzle to the player while saying as little as possible so as to not spoil. That was easy. Maybe that was the one that introduced the double lasering idea, because that was really all there was to it. World of endless sand. I would like to make it far enough to see that. Yeah, @sign, like we're doing on this playthrough, seems to be exploring every inch of every world they go through before moving on. I'm pronouncing that name as @sign. Maybe it's just @. Vote in the comments. Is it @sign or just @? Pinhole windows. Self-explanatory. Oh, QR inside a puzzle. Sheep's complaining about difficulty. Just like me, for real, for real. I dread what the next temple holds in store. And at the end, what? Eternal life? There's gotta be another way. We love sheep. On this channel, we respect sheep. This channel, I say. I haven't made my channel yet. This is going to be the first thing I upload to it, and quite possibly the only thing, depending on how my next idea goes. But to the extent that there is a channel, this is a pro-sheep channel. Oh darn, I'm going to keep censoring myself. Because I want this to be a kid-friendly gazing into the abyss. Existential philosophy is fun for the whole family. Yeah, take that as a tagline, Talos devs. You can have that one for free. What I have to do now is set this up again to get the red laser back through the... Actually, I think I know what to do. I said not knowing what to do. It'll be a little tricky. Okay, I just have to take it a little bit further back. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Oh, we're so close. That's the angle. That's what we're going for. Connect to that, and connect to that. And don't connect to that. Oh no, we're gonna cross the street. No! We were so close. It almost worked until it didn't. Also, that's it's not gonna quite make the connection. Oh, I could try that. Maybe that would work. Interesting that we have this window. Unfortunate that we can't use it. Oh, or maybe we can. I would like to think. Yeah, if we can pull it in from like there, then we could wrap the blue around. No, we can't. We can't do that. That's never gonna make it. They've given me so many options and I have to look at all of them. Because only one or maybe a few will work. Oh, you can... Okay. I'm a fool. Unless I'm not. Oh, well, yeah, the problem with this one is that it cuts directly across and there's no room for the blue to get out, so that won't work. Good try. Just gotta find the optimal angle to everything you need to hit. I think... Scooch this as far to the left as I can get. Oh, that's still not gonna work. We're close. We're very close, but that's not gonna work. It's not going to work because... Oh, we are so close. Oh, that angle almost works. Can I move that any further to, like, to the left? Ah, that's insane. To future me editing this video, hi. Sorry I've made your job more difficult by not being able to solve this puzzle very quickly. Hope you're doing alright. Hope you are not tired. If it makes you feel any better, I have a nice warm cup of coffee and I'm doing pretty good. So try to capture some of that good energy as you watch me blunder my way through this puzzle for another hour or so. Alright. I'm about to do an advanced puzzle solving technique, which is coming back to this puzzle later. I'll do another one first and then come back to this one, see if I can refresh my brain a little bit. Elohim encourages you to do this, but for some players like me, that kind of motivates me only to buckle down and try harder. You actually get an achievement for that. If Elohim tells you, hey, this one's taking you a while, maybe you should just try again later. But if you ignore that and then solve the puzzle, you get an achievement. So, mixed messages from the game on that one. So to open up this door, we need to circumvent these guys, and I think that's pretty straightforward. Or it would be. Oh, it is. I think. It'll just bump into it, right? Damn it! Darn it! Gadzooks, we were so close. Will that work? Yeah! That'll work. I hope that was the intended solution. I hope I'm not cheesing the puzzle. I can block one of these guys. Oh, okay. Another connector. I can probably block them both, can't I? So both of these guys will break up the path there. We have two connectors, so I'm going to have to get at least one of those. Through that way. Let's start by... Whoop. Start by handling that. So that beam will stay intact. Well, golly. Troubling. I didn't miss any resources, did I? Because there's a second block or another connector around somewhere. I know that's gotten me at least a couple times with this game. Like, why can't I solve the puzzle? Oh, there's another connector. No wonder. But I don't think that's the case this time. Is there blue around here? Is there a star back here? Something like that. It is a mischievous developer who hides essential puzzle-solving tools around corners. Yeah. Oh, I could trap it on the other side if it goes that far. This is the way. Oh, jeez. Okay, we'll wait for it to come back. I've got the solution, I just need to position it right. Or at least I would like this to be the solution. There we go. Now wait a minute. That doesn't really make sense, because then we don't need to have this cube here as well, because that's just wrong. That's incorrect. Factually wrong. Not the intended solution, or indeed not a solution at all. Man, I had so much to say about this game while I knew what I was doing. I'm entering the realm of the unknown, or rather the formerly known. These puzzle solutions have been lost to time. What to do, what to do. Okay, let's just try the most obvious thing first, and explore why it doesn't work. Wait. Oh my god, that worked. Let me through, let me through. Yes! Okay, so you're actually just supposed to do that. And let it give you enough of a window to go through. Interesting. And then some kind of bonus if I can get blue in here. That seems like a doable star. I'll grab this connector and pull it back out. Just so we have it on hand. Okay, let's see if that experience made me any better at solving the other puzzle. Pinhole windows. Again, we're probably going to want red on the outside, blue on the inside. I can get red through that window and get it there, but that won't get it to target this thing. And I need it to do that. Is there a pixel? No. Not there. I'm so close. Tantalizingly close to a solution. Tantalizing. Tantalizing. there's no cheesing that. I have to get it through there. Is there a reason... Right, because it blocks the blue. Right. I already did that and it didn't work. It's on the precipice of madness there, about to start running in circles. Like, try that thing again. Oh, it won't work. I'll try it again. Oh, it still won't work. Oh my god, am I close? Is this... You know what? What if I just assume that that's where that needs to be and work backwards? Almost. Move a little bit backwards. Almost. Move a little bit more backwards. Ah. We take that. We take that. I don't know if I was overlooking another position that would have worked, but we take that. A full-blown conversation with the entity in the archive today. Can't say it was terribly helpful. Milton in a nutshell. Still, perhaps I can charm some information out of it further down the line. Alright, that's all the sigils here. Terminal's not beeping at us. Oh, I could try to get the star. Or whatever's behind that little barrier. So the idea is to get a blue into here. I think I know how to do it. You can see the mouth of that one from there. This is feeling familiar. So if I can get a blue laser at the surface over here somehow. Yeah, that's totally doable. Get it right, oh, right there. And yeah, 2 connectors will get that for us. Oh man, this is gonna be 5 stars. This game got so good so fast. Well, I better not say that before I actually manage it. Yeah. Another star for thinking outside the box. Or outside the puzzles. Where's the star? There it is. Perfect game. And we still have 3/4 of the game to go. Not gonna get all the stars I said. I think I've got a majority of them so far. I have gone through and got them all before. I did use a guide for some of them.
Rejoice, child, for you have fulfilled all your tasks in this land. You have conquered all its guardians and solved all its mysteries. Thus you are appointed its master, and you may do with it as you will.
Sweet, can I terraform? Elohim gives you a pat on the back and awards you a meaningless title. Elohim is your employer.
There are mysteries in my garden, hidden roads and secret gates. If you dedicate yourself to understanding them, you may join the host of messengers.
So, here, as you walk through the first Stargate, Elohim hints at the third and most difficult ending to reach, which is you collect all the star sigils, open all the stargates, do all the related puzzles, and your reward at the end is becoming one of Elohim's messengers, assigned to basically do his busy work, help out any bots who are having trouble. I'll talk more about that ending later, when I get into talking about endings, but I'll say right now that I think it does something really cool that kind of like subverts your expectations for how multiple endings in video games work. Like, you have multiple paths to choose from, and depending on difficulty, just the... Okay, let me just articulate what I'm thinking right now, since I'm talking about it. The Messenger ending is arguably the worst of the three endings, because it kind of puts your character at an existential dead end. You cannot progress any further or grow any further. You lock yourself in as one of Elohim's messengers, and that's all the character is from then on. And yet, it is the most difficult ending to achieve while being the worst for your character. And I think that's really cool, because, like, the best ending is the medium ending to achieve. It's totally doable. So for you as the player looking over your ending options, it's like... I'm going to talk over the game a little bit here. Your thought would be like, well, I tried so hard to get everything. Why did I get rewarded with this crappy ending? And it's like, well, for you, a human player, what you accomplished by collecting all the sigils was the hardest thing you could have done in this game. But for the bots who are being tested and run through this system, the true ending is actually the hardest thing for them to achieve because of the perspective they're in. Collecting all the star sigils requires working within the world that they know, but getting the true ending requires venturing into the unknown and doing something that they really aren't encouraged to do, that they kind of have to reach the decision to do on their own. Though admittedly they do get a bit of a nudge from Milton, but still. Well, let's go up and see what I'm talking about.
You have proven yourself worthy, child, and this gate shall be forever open to you. Seek now the other worlds I have given you, that you may attain even greater mastery and bring glory to your kind. But remember, you must not ascend the great tower, for it shall bring death and the end of your generations.
So there's the Great Tower. I love this structure, and I love this environment, too. It calls to mind, what am I thinking? There's somewhere in the world, I'm blanking on the names and details, but somewhere cold there's what's called a seed bank. And it's this massive structure where a lot of life is stored and preserved. And that combined with the idea of the Extended Life Project, it just, this imagery calls that to mind. And it kind of ties in with the idea of, you know, preserving and perpetuating something. Anyway, this is the ultimate challenge for every single entity that has gone through this simulation, been made and run through here, and within the game, none has yet successfully reached the top. This is the ultimate challenge of the simulation. This is the goal. Entities have collected all the star sigils to become Elohim's messengers, but they haven't done this because to an entity who only knows this world, that is more difficult than scouring all the safer worlds versus that great unknown. So it's just interesting what the themes of those endings represent, and the dissonance between what is difficult for a player, a human player of this game, versus what is difficult for a character in this world. Let's open the terminal. I've been talking for long enough. Athena 12. Steel and bronze and iron and memory of flesh. I don't know what to make of that. Aside from the steel and bronze and iron and memory of flesh, again, more of that idea of like materials experiencing cognition. Rome was not built in a day. It didn't fall in a day either. So yeah, meaningful historical analysis, also relevant to what the game portrays as the ultimate collapse of greater human civilization, that is the entire world, as a gradual thing rather than a sudden and immediate thing. A collapse that was, unfortunately, preventable, but, you know, too little too late. By the time humanity had a collective will to take action, there was no action left to be taken. This is a work of nonfiction. Which world am I supposed to go to? B. We'll go to B first. I can't go to C anyway. Ooh, we get a little map from the outside. That's nice. Gotta clear B4 before you can go to C. Also B5. Another terminal. Oxyrhynchus.html. Oh yeah, the great irony of the Oxyrhynchus papyri is that such a vital source of information about the ancient world exists only because of a garbage dump. So much more is simply the result of coincidence and luck. We've lost texts that the ancients considered to be absolutely essential, while utterly trivial, even plagiarized work it survived unharmed. So if we want our descendants to remember more than glittering emo vampires and auto-tuned teen pop stars, okay, boomer, we have to invest in censored to make sure that flubububub. The Book of the Scribe of Osiris. The Egyptian Afterlife, the Road to Gehenna DLC features a few interactive fiction types of things, and this journey through the Duat, the Egyptian Afterlife, is the subject of one of those interactive fiction games. And yeah, that game kind of uses the idea of that journey as like a metaphor for something else. I would tell you what, but I did say I wasn't going to play Road to Gehenna, so... And I don't remember off the top of my head exactly how that went. If you have thoughts on the Road to Gehenna DLC, let me know in the comments. If you don't have anything to say about this game, but you want to let me know that I'm not alone and I'm not just screaming into the void, type hi in the comments. I'm just kidding, you don't have to do that. Never think about it. Don't even look at it. Just keep focused on doing the work. Okay. Thanks, Seer. I'll take that to heart. This one might trip me up. Yeah, I think it already has. Never mind, I think that's a solution. Nope. Add one to the counter. Incorrect. Incorrect. Nope. 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 This'll work. Yeah, sigil puzzles is just trial and error pretty much. Well, not really. There is an element of like looking ahead, but only so far usually. Well, I guess there is a strategy to it, but I haven't memorized that strategy. I sort of rediscover it with every puzzle.
A new land stands before you, my child. And know that this is a land of death, but also great beauty. As you walk amongst these tombs, consider all those who came before you, and how they served the greater purpose of which you are also part.
He says greater purpose without defining what that purpose is. Oh, I didn't get the Edge of the World dialogue. I'll make sure to make that happen in one of these worlds. Oh boy, we'll be able to unlock fans and this thing. Looking forward to that. Alright, we'll continue very shortly. Alright, let's continue. I just took a quick break, got up, stretched my legs a little bit. Not to be a loading screen or anything, but make sure you take a break every now and then.
I have promised you eternal life. But know that eternity may only be attained by those who serve a purpose greater than themselves. All else is decay. So it was written in the hidden words before the beginning of time.
Sorry, just sip some of my coffee. Yeah, more Elohim talking. Sorry for lacking the insight on that one. Just double checking my recording. Alright. Code first, terminal first. I'll go code first. Sheep has been having some engaging conversations. Oh. I'll climb it when I'm good and ready, giving the oddest answer. Are you trying to manipulate me? So now Milton is really flashing his personality and really showing what he's all about, which is just poking you and poking at what you're doing and whatever ideas you have, which is what he's designed to do, basically to challenge the preconceptions of whoever he's talking to. And it's always fun to deal with this little contrarian. I will. I think he just terminates it, whatever you say to that. Oh man, these lyrics. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. And the answer gets corrupted. I don't know how to tie this in thematically to what's going on in the game, besides the talk of, like, afterlife and what happens after death. And I guess with the Egypt theme, which is where we're at now. I won't be singing this for you, but we can take a look at the lyrics. A bit rude to call someone fatty in any context. Favorite add to playlist. Yeah, I am going to say a swear, but this is like... even at the very end of the world, humans will continue to shitpost. They will not stop making memes. They will not stop being super goofy. I guess that's not really shitposting. That is G-rated silliness. And coherent. God, I wonder what they would put on, like, kids' TV in this scenario. Like, God, I don't know if there's any text in this game that really touches on that idea, but, like, broaching the concept of the impending mortality of every human on Earth with children who are also doomed. Like, that's a hell of a thing. A heck of a thing, pardon me. Yeah, I'd be interested to see. That's a bit of a tearjerker if they really dug into it. There is another idea they do get into, but the game doesn't really mention, at least not to my memory, how this whole situation affected the kids or was handled in communication with kids. I wonder if there's going to be something about that in Talos too. Because that feels very relevant, because, fun fact about the world, there's a lot of children in it, so if everyone suddenly becomes aware at the same time that the world is ending and everyone's going to die, how do you handle that with the kids? Oh, hey, on topic. Thanks for your input on immortality, Disgruntlemeister. It is an interesting idea he's digging at, too, and this is kind of something everyone has to wrangle with if you have time to think about it. Like, the inevitability of your own demise, especially if you don't believe in an afterlife. How do you reconcile with the idea of one day no longer existing? I think that's something that's weighing heavily on Alexandra Drennan's mind, and probably on a lot of humans' minds. Both in the world of this game and also in the real world. It's a weight everyone has to kind of deal with and resolve their own way. And it's one of those great questions to which everyone has a different answer, like, have you come to terms with your own mortality? And if so, how? Or if not, how do you cope? That's another idea the game explores. Really, the game is about what happens when the issue gets forced and everyone has to confront their impending death. Everyone's terminal at the same time, suddenly, all at once. Oh hey, I left this one. I just realized the pun. Terminal as in terminally ill and terminal as in computer. That's probably not intentional. That's probably not something anyone was thinking about, but I just realized. Go to the terminal to read about everyone who's terminal. Our first Egypt puzzle is a connector puzzle. I'm gonna politely walk around that gentleman. So I think the idea here is that we angle the laser around this way, then get it back through the window to hold it. This might be the first puzzle that does that kind of wraparound, although we might have already done one. Look, I can't remember every single puzzle at once. Much as I might like to. Yeah. Set it up right here, maybe? And then see if we can get that to work. We do get a bit of a window. Gonna need another connector. Oh, there it is. Hey, @sign. I just don't understand this one. I figured I'd try and make some progress here, but honestly, it's such a thankless task compared to what else is out there. I just don't get it, @sign may have said while trapped inside this room. I don't know if it's possible to get yourself fully trapped in there. There is a handy reset button. I hope the game tells you about it in the scenario where you get stuck. But I know I've used it a few times. Not yet in this playthrough, though. At least I haven't had to. Alright. Oh. I'm good at this game, I promise. Take your time. There we go. Something I noticed during the Talos Principle too is that this greenery, I think, is a little greener in that game. Just there's a little more of a contrast. And that's fun. Why did it make us climb a ladder? Was there a reason for that, or is that just kind of there? I might come back to that. Or that might be relevant later. Oh no, it was just so that we could see the sigil from the start. But wait. You could have just had it right there. So that's not it. Am I overthinking this? Yeah, I'm at the point where I've got my brain engaged in such a way that I can find stars. Made a box float. Oh, if you drop a hexahedron on the water, does it float? That's cool. I don't think I've ever done that. Like I said, I've played this game before, but my memory is limited. Get red here and you get a star. Probably get that from outside. Done that before. How to get the blue over here. Are there any more components for me to be aware of? There's another terminal somewhere. I guess I want to try to just squeeze this as close as possible. Will that be enough time to get that open? I think it will. Yep, but I was standing over here, so I didn't get to go through. Sometimes you just gotta stop and smell the roses and watch the door open. Yep. And I'll go ahead and just set that up right there. Yeah, if I can connect to that from, from over there? This would be the second star I've gotten that way. This one does seem like the slightly easier or more obvious one. I say, about to mess it up. No, this should be easy. Do I even have to do it that way? I'll do it that way anyway. Yep. Easy squeezy. That'll get us up to 6 stars. You know what would be a funny thing to do? Make like a decoy star, like basically fake out a player. Like the player sees something and they're like, oh, it's a star, but then when they go to collect it, it does something silly instead, and it's like, oh, no star for you. I think that would be funny. You're Samsara again. Who knows what happens to those who step carelessly too often? Yeah, Samsara is a very foreboding personality. Okay, first step seems pretty straightforward. I'll get as much space for it as I can. Got 3 connectors. Oh, this is really straightforward actually. If I say that and then I fail to get the right solution, I will resign. Phew. No! Add 1 to the counter. I have to get one of these connectors to hold this open. There isn't a way for blue to go on the outside. I have to somehow get one of these objects through that door to press the weight down. Or some other object I just haven't noticed yet. The devs are not mean. They would not hide a hexahedron in a bush. Well, maybe they are mean, but they wouldn't do that. I see you evil game developers. Not about to let you off the hook. Okay. This one's just a cube puzzle, so no cheesing the other one with this one. Oh, there is a connector over there, though. Oh, no. Oh, that's a jammer. Oh, that's gonna kill me. Oh. Okay. Oh. Hold Y to reset. You big old goofball. What was I supposed to do? The game said over the fence. Where else was I gonna go? So this puzzle tutorializes resets. Because surely any player would immediately jump over the fence with no way back. No, what you really do is you take your hexahedron, you carry the second one over the fence, title drop, and then carry the jammer back over the fence. One more doodad and we get a fan. This doodad specifically. They reset the puzzle for us. Third wheel is the title of the puzzle. Can I just... That's as far back as I can go. No, that wouldn't work. This, the blue laser has to be able to escape. I just thought about shortening up the red laser, but there's a clear reason why you can't do that. Unless I'm wrong, which, is becoming more and more likely with every passing second. Apparent intelligence has an inverse relationship with puzzle difficulty. My last brain cell. I'm gonna cut as much of this as I can because I know someone who knows the solution to this puzzle and remembers it is gonna be screaming at the screen like, obviously you just do this. But I'm here like, how do I make 3 equal 2? That closes that. Okay, this is the furthest back I can possibly get this to go. It is not far enough back. Can I change up the angle this way at all to any benefit? Oh, that might be it. Nope, it's not it. I should know better by now. Were it so easy. Nope. Yep. You're probably not going to see the full amount of time I spent on that one. But the gist of the puzzle was just find the right angle so you only have to use 2 of these connectors, and that took me longer than it probably should have. I love this game. Oh boy, lots of guns. Ooh, I know the trick here. I promise there's more to it. Actually, that's pretty much the gist of it. Can't carry the jammer up or move it up, but we can just jam from a distance. So the mine moves through safely. I will use the zoom feature. That should be good. Do bind the zoom key, because it is occasionally useful. And box. Sorry, hexahedron. Child program Samsara terminated here. Program timed out. Samsara v7 2.2. So Samsara continues to be Samsara with each iteration. Hello.
Cease! In the time of your ancestors, there were those who did not choose the path of faith. You do not need to fear their ghosts. Fear only that you may become like them.
I think that's the closest the game gets to jump scaring you. And it did spook me a little bit, even though I knew that was a thing. It's the noise that does it. That kind of noise, like... It was a more foreboding recording than we're used to seeing. Say hi to Milton again. What is the important difference between a pebble and a tree? A tree is alive? Oui, oui. A frog is conscious. I guess this is the best distinction you can make. Or I guess this can be demonstrated, but I think this is more of a key definition of personhood. Is self-awareness. There's no way to determine externally that a frog is not self-aware is the thing. Which is probably what Milton's going to drive at. I don't know. Rationality is also a little tricky to define. That is capable of reasoning, but that sort of implies having language. Does that mean language is a necessity for being a person? I think not, because it's easy enough to imagine a person without language who remains a person and who remains perfectly, cognizant. They just don't have the words. And so even though they don't have the way to measure rationality, they're still a person, I'm just going to say self-aware and see how he roasts me. Exactly. Oh, never mind. I'm perfectly correct. And it seems you were on the right track, more or less, all along. We can tentatively conclude two things. A person must be rational or self-aware. A person must be conscious. What I suggest we do to help resolve your problem is ask whether you are in fact those two things. Are you aware of yourself? Can you rationalize your existence? Yes. Or I've been a little eccentric. I am resigned to admit that you are right. The matter of whether or not you are conscious seems rather more elusive. What is consciousness? It's tricky. This is a step backwards because it feels safe to conclude that a frog has feelings and senses. Although, the two corollaries there, one can be true without the other. Yeah, my perfect answer to this would be consciousness is perception. And this is the closest thing to that. Yeah. What is it made of? Neurons? Or a complex functional system? This is getting a little closer to a strong answer. There are many complex functional systems. I guess this is the most correct, and this is on the right track. I'll go ahead and try this one. Cool. Yeah, I feel you, sheep. Alright, let's continue. We have enough sigils to unlock this guy. First try. Clip that. I know this is a recorded video, but clip it anyway. Now we have fans. Oh, there's a red puzzle with no markings. I think that means it's just jammers. I kind of want to look at that one first.
I see all. I know all. My power knows no bounds. And yet your will is free because you were made to be free. It is the very principle of your existence, without which the trials of this world would hold no meaning. To seek salvation must be your choice.
A few different things I can do here. I'm gonna grab... I'll do the... Okay. There's about 3 things attacking my senses at once right now. There's the visible audio log over there, there's the connector on the moon, and there's the beeping of the terminal behind me. I'm gonna eliminate this one first. Science magic. Off to a wonderful start. Before effect. So that's something Milton used on us earlier when he gave us your overall psych profile in such vague terms that it could probably be applied to anyone in this simulation situation. Oh man, if there's one thing that's good about inevitable death, it's the food. Yeah, baby. Yeah, another interesting thing to explore is, like, what happens to work culture? Like, how do people's relationships with their jobs change when everyone's going to die in a year? You have to imagine that capitalism starts to break down at that point, right? How does society keep going? Do people continue with their day-to-day? How do things change? Is there a rapid and sudden workers' revolution and we get, like, a few months of a socialist utopia before everybody dies? That just came to mind because it's like, oh yeah, if you're about to die, there's no really any point in the long-term stuff anymore. So why maintain your physical health if you're doomed anyway? That's funny. Also, you know, tragic, but the most tragic triple bacon burger there ever was. Drennan got outvoted. Man, a few words, but seems to be a cool dude. I wonder if we're gonna ever hear Alexandra call it Talos. Begrudgingly. Like, I don't want to call it Talos. Arcadi's like, we're calling it Talos. Zandra's like, fine.
I keep having these dreams. Great empty cities. Silent roads stretching for miles. The Earth from space. All dark. Not a single light to guide me home. But if someone really came from another world, what would the Earth look like to them? A wilderness? A wasteland? I don't think so. Even after thousands of years, they'd see a world shaped by our hand in every aspect of its being. They'd see the cities and the roads, the bridges, the harbors, and they would say, here lived a race of giants. These dreams, they scare me, but they also remind me that we built all of this.
Alexandra seems to have a pretty positive view on human development, but I think the mark humans have left on the Earth, it's a monument and it's impressive, but it's also kind of a scar. It's a lot of destruction and a lot of the natural world destroyed for no real worthwhile end. There are things we built to be proud of, but also maybe some things to be ashamed of. But Alexandra's trying to look on the bright side. One with faith has given up on solving all the puzzles and has resorted to worship. I guess I'll do the red one first. Higher ground. Let's go to higher ground. So I can jam everything from here. I can't move this jammer through anything. Oh, but I can go up here. From here I can jam this. Which is useful because I can go through here. I could jam that to grab those keys. Yeah, this is a lot of basically a repositioning puzzle. But it shouldn't be too difficult. Is there anything beyond this door worth getting? I should check for it. And that's just a further jam, right? I can still reach that. There we go. Hey, door. So that's walkable. Hello. Oh, here it is. One with faith terminated here. Worshipped the designer for number of days, then allowed the serpent into its heart. Final memory dump. I ask the designer for forgiveness, that I may join him in the eternal memory. One with faith splits into 3 progeny programs: @, samsara, and sheep. And there's kind of... If you look back on everything One with Faith says, you can sort of see the seeds of them in each of these progeny programs. In @, it's like the wonder of the world around them. In samsara, it's pondering the nature of like life and the cycle and the importance of perpetuating everything basically the way Elohim kind of wants to. So that faith kind of carries over into samsara, although the reasoning behind it sort of twists a little bit. And then sheep, like faith, is one who keeps asking questions about the world, keeps wondering about the why of everything and what it all means. So samsara and sheep are effectively siblings. Also @. And here's sheep realizing that connection. Who cares? Just be grateful we don't have to read anything more about the great designer. Damn, the Greek is savage. The Greek's like, good riddance. I guess I am gonna, because I can't help myself sometimes, I do swear, so I'm gonna put a little thing at the front like, hey, I'm gonna swear sometimes in this video. Just be aware of that. I'll try to keep it to a minimum, but it's part of my dialect. There's really no reason to jam from down there when you can just as well jam from up here. Oh, is there a benefit to that? Yes. So you can carry this jammer through, and then double jam from the other side. So that you can come back through after you reposition one of these other jammers. With jammer in hand. Make sure I grab the right one here. Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, I think I understand. Let me just walk it back a little bit, because there's another thing that you can do that you have to do. Let's come through here, jam up one of these guys for long enough to break them up and make that path walkable. Can I jam that from right here? Yes. Don't mind me. Alright, so now we can get our jammer back. Go back through here. After we reposition our jammers again. Remember when I came in and like, oh, this is going to be super easy. It is super easy, it's just a bit of a process. And the next part of that process is, we'll say right there. We want to maximize the space here. Make sure there's plenty of a gap to move through one way and then another way. And that's good. Okay. Should be good at least. And then we'll do the thing we did before. I hope I don't have to... Oh, I'm gonna have to... Wait, but maybe I can get in front of that so I don't have to run back later. Because if I can target one of these guys from over here, that'll save me some time. As they move very slowly. Timing it like this just makes it easier for me to go, okay, now's the right time to unjam. So again, maximizing the space between those to make sure this is walkable. Oh, and then there's the last one I'm going to have to work out how to get to. Okay. Plenty of space. Oh, right. Double jam it from here so you can get through there. Then the last thing to do is this. That should get us all the way through. We're not gonna add another one to the board. This is actually the right answer. Whew. That was cutting it a little close. I need to be a little more careful because this took a little while to set up. There we go. Doesn't matter, got the sigil. We call that fast traveling. That might be a good time to segment. Alright, gonna take another break and we'll continue.